Guys,
Hi.
when we are gonna to start the assignment of MAT123.
Yes, I know, right? It has been a week since Dr. Fadila gave us the task.
What if we choose the cases now? I have been thinking about this one case since yesterday, which is Kaabah in Mecca.
Wow, that's a great idea, Alia.
Yes, I'm with you. But didn't Dr. Fadila told us this assignment must have 2 cases for each group?
I also heard about that. And actually, Universal Studios Singapore is a kind of interesting cases for us to do.
Sure, I'm used to make a research about Universal Studios Singapore before. So the conclusion is we agree to choose the Universal Studios Singapore and Kaabah as a case for our assignment, right?
Yes.
Before the hectic week start, we should start as soon as possible so that we won't get stressed.
Yes, I agree. So that's all. I'm leaving now.
See you
See
soon.
you soon. Bye.
Hi, my name is Nur Ali Atira binti Muhammad Zailani. My ID number is 2022487942.
Hi, my name is Nurindayana binti Ramli. My student ID is 2022619842.
Hi, my name is Nur Amalia Batris binti Muhammad Zalidi. My ID number is 2022820334.
Hi, my name is Aini Hani Azami binti Abdul Aziz and my student ID is 2022628548.
The cases selected for our group are Kaabah in Mecca and Universal Studios Singapore.
So, the first case is Kaabah in Mecca. What is the Kaabah? The Kaabah is the holiest site of Islam. Etymologically, the word Kaabah means cube in Arabic. The Kaabah is a cube-like structure that is usually draped with a black cloth. The Kaabah is located inside the Great Mosque of Mecca, located in the holy city of Mecca, Saudi Arabia. It also the focal point of the Qibla for all Muslims.
Hi, I'm going to tell you about the history of Kaabah. The Kaabah has played an important role in Islam. At first, it was not the holiest site in Islam. This is demonstrated in the fact that Muhammad initially directed his followers to pray facing not Mecca but the holy city of Jerusalem. After being cast out of Mecca by the Quraysh rulers in the 622 century, Muhammad changed this practice to pray toward Mecca and the Kaabah in particular. This continues to be the practice of Islam to this day. When people of the Muslim faith prostrate to pray several times a day, they are to face the Kaabah. Over the next several years, Muhammad fought a war with the Quraysh by recruiting more and more followers. Muhammad outnumbered and outclassed the Quraysh, who eventually permitted him to return to Mecca in the 630 century. Now, in control of the Kaabah, Muhammad destroyed the statues and paintings of other gods. Though some legends say he spared a paintings of Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ. Upon taking control of Mecca, the Muslim people converted the buildings surrounding the Kaabah into a mosque. Over subsequent centuries, this mosque has been renovated into the Great Mosque of Mecca, which envelopes the Kaabah. As the holiest site in Islam, the mosque and its Kaabah have significant political power in the early years of Islam. Feuding political factions fought for control of Mecca for its religious significance. For many centuries, the Turkish Ottoman Empire ruled over the Kaabah, but it crumbled after the First World War. Two competing Arab dynasties then fought for the Kaabah, the Hashemite and the Saudi dynasties. The Saudi people ultimately won for the past century. Mecca has been held by Saudi Arabia. So I think that's it for the history of Kaaba. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Then, this is the brief for history of Kaaba.
The Kaaba is a stone cuboid structure made of grey granite. Inside the Kaaba, the floor is made of marble and limestone. The interior walls are clad with tile, white marble halfway to the roof, with darker trimmings along the floor. Next, the ceiling itself is a lot darker color, similar in hue to the lower trimmings. The exterior of the Kaaba is usually covered with a large black cloth called the kiswah that has Quranic verses embroidered with gold thread on it.
To find area of Kaaba, we use this formula, which is, let's say the length of Kaaba is, the width of Kaaba is, so we can substitute of the volume of length and width with this formula. To find the volume of Kaaba, we use this formula, which is, for the second case is Universal Studios Singapore. What is Universal Studios Singapore? Universal Studios Singapore is Southeast Asia's first Hollywood movie theme park. Universal Studios Singapore is a theme park located within the Resort World Sentosa. It features 28 rides, shows, and attractions in 7 theme zones. It is one of the 6 Universal Studios theme parks around the world. Universal Studios Singapore also received over 3 million guests visit the park in its opening year. Since then, Universal Studios Singapore has had approximately 4 million visitors every year. Most visitors are local Singaporeans as well as tourists from the other Asian countries in the region.
Next, I will share about history of Universal Studios Singapore. The construction of Resort World Sentosa and Universal Studios Singapore began on 19 April 2008. After almost 2 years of construction, the park opened on 18 March 2010. The official grand opening of the park was held on 28 May 2011, along with the grand opening gala being held on 27 May 2011. Universal Studios Singapore is the second Universal Studios theme park in Asia. According to the AECOM Theme Index Global Attraction Attendance Report, Universal Studios Singapore is one of the top visited amusement theme parks worldwide.
For a better and clear about the history of Universal Studios Singapore, you must read this. Application of geometry for Universal Studios Singapore. Universal Studios Singapore globe is a sphere structure made of metal and cuprum. The globe surrounded by the word universal. The globe looks like the earth. Radius of the Universal Studios Singapore globe is 68 meters. To find the volume of globe Universal Studios Singapore, we use this formula, which is, let's say that radius of the globe Universal Studios Singapore is, so we can substitute the value of radius in the formula. Next, to find the surface area of the globe Universal Studios Singapore, we use this formula. The conclusion: geometry is important as it has been used to build houses, buildings, arts, roads, machines, and everything we use now. Geometry has many practical use in daily life applications, such as architecture, space, sports, nature, sculpture, and much more. Without geometry, most things would not exist. Thus, we must maximize the use of geometry. This is the references that we use to complete this assignment.